Very good afternoon, guys. How are you all today? Vasco here. So today I'm at Alcantara Mar Docks, and right in front of me there's a sail ship from the Argentine Navy that arrived yesterday at 7:30 a.m. Early this morning, I was here to see this magnificent school ship from the Argentine Navy, and during this video I'm going to tell you everything about this magnificent vessel. So allow me to turn the camera around so you can see. Meet the ARA Libertad from the Argentine Navy. This vessel arrived yesterday and it's going to stay here until Thursday. So let's go see this magnificent vessel. During the video I'm going to put down below in the subtitles the history of this vessel, where it was made and when got service on the Argentine Navy. Let's start the video. Look at this magnificent ship. This ship was built in Argentina in 1956 and it entered in commission in the Argentine Navy in 1963. During the video I'm going to tell you everything about this vessel, when it was built, and its voyages across the world. This ship has in total 27 sailing. This ship has total 27 sails, and is also one of the fastest sailing ships in the world. In 1966, this ship crossed the Atlantic Ocean by 8 days, and is also the fastest record ever held by this sailing ship. Now this is something that I usually wanted to see, because it's been a while since I watched a sailing ship visiting Portugal. The last time I was here was April of last year, when the Colombian sailing ship ARC Gloria visited Portugal, when it stayed here for 3 days. 3 or 4 days to be exact. And to see this magnificent vessel here, it was the first time since 2019 that this ship hasn't visited Portugal. So seeing this ship returning to Portugal for the first time in 6 years, it is absolutely gorgeous. In terms of crew, it has nearly 360 members on board. It's an exquisite thing, don't you agree? Because this ship is way bigger and faster than the ARC Gloria. It has more sails, 3 masts like the ARC Gloria, that contains 5 sails. Such a beauty vessel you can see here. Let's check more by going on board. Since we've seen everything from outside, let's go on board to see things on deck.
Nave scuola, è come l'Americo Vespucci. Ah, ok. È un veliero.
Well, guys, I visited the ship. It was absolutely magnificent. The deck was absolutely cleaning, just as good as new. The crew members on board were so kind. They are very professional. The ship will depart on Thursday, maybe afternoon. Tomorrow will be another day to stay here, and I'm still going to come here tomorrow and to see better things for myself. It is an exquisite thing, don't you agree? A ship like this can survive a hurricane while being on voyages across the oceans on the world. Such a beautiful vessel, and it's also the pride of Argentina. And it's also the floating ambassador of the country representing its culture across the oceans. Like I said, the ship is going to depart on Thursday afternoon, heading to its next destination, which tomorrow I'm going to say which. Unfortunately, we didn't go to the bridge where the helm and other instruments are located because it was restricted for the guests. Only crew members and the captain can go on board. Such a beautiful vessel here. Like I said, 360 crew members on board this magnificent ship. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Tomorrow I'm going to be here again so that I can see things better and visit here more frequently without any incidents. Today is day 2 that this magnificent ship from the Argentine Navy has been docked here at the Alcantara docks. Seeing this magnificent sail ship from Argentina is such a great feeling to get to know the history of many miles that this ship has done across the world. Like I said yesterday, this ship has set the world record in 1966 when it traveled the Atlantic Ocean from the USA to the UK by 8 days. That is a record that no tall sailing ship like this has ever done in history. But this ship is more than just representing its pride of Argentina. Is a floating ambassador of its country, which is something that brings peace, whatever in Argentina and in other countries in the world. I'm here at the bow, and you can see that the third and final mast has 5 sails. The same thing for the second and first masts. Like I said yesterday, 27 sails that this ship has. This ship is far bigger than the ARC Gloria. It's about 50 meters bigger. Such a great vessel this ship is. as I said yesterday, I don't know exactly in what time this ship departs from here, the Alcantara docks, to its next destination. I will keep an eye on the websites that connects to these ships to know the timeline of departure. This ship is such a beauty. You don't see many sail ships like this one visiting other countries because it's been since 2019 that this ship visited Portugal. And seeing this vessel returning here is always a great pleasure to maintain peace between Portugal and Argentina and other countries in the world. Very good afternoon, guys. Today is Thursday, and today is the last visit and day of this magnificent vessel from the Argentine Navy. Portugal is the last European port of calls for this ship of the Argentine Navy. Now we'll head back to Costa Rica after traveling across the European continent for almost 2 months. And we'll now go to Costa Rica after spending 58 days navigating on the Atlantic Ocean. And it seems it's going to travel safely back to Argentina, and these crew members, whatever officers and cadets, they're going to be reunited with their families. Now the ship will depart at 5 p.m. It's 4:45 p.m. 55 minutes to go, and we'll see what happens. I will keep you posted. guys, it's 5:23 p.m. The ship was supposed to depart at 5 p.m. There was some delay because the tugboats were towing a ship from the other side of the bridge to a ship repair location. So the ARA Libertad will depart with some delay. I will keep you posted for more information.